we're ready.
All right, we can stand up for the pledge.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So the first order of business is the Commissioner's Office requesting board approve and execute minutes of the meeting of November 13th, 2014.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Sweden? Aye. Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And let's see here. Number 2 is Office Economic Development. Morning.
Good morning. I too dealt with frozen horse buckets this morning. Not frozen horse bucket? Yeah. Not fun.
2 and 3.
Do you want to do 2 and 3 together? Or
That's fine. Yep. That'll work.
Okay. The Sages, they were part of our rehab program and our down payment assistance program back in the day, which we no longer have those programs. A mortgage is put on the property, and they are satisfying their mortgage obligations to the county. So this is for satisfaction mortgage.
That's wonderful.
Okay. So then we can do a read on those.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and execute a satisfaction of mortgage for Benjamin A. and Lynn M. Sage for rehabilitation assistance for property located at 11358 Chardon Road, Chardon, under grant number B-C-03-026-2, as the mortgage in the amount of $10,000 has been satisfied. The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and execute a satisfaction of mortgage for Benjamin A. and Lynn M. Sage for down payment assistance for property located at 11258 Chardon Road, Chardon, under grant number B-C-03-026-1, as the mortgage in the amount of $19,095 has been satisfied.
Make the motion for those two.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And number 4.
Number 4 is a follow-up from last week we brought for the loan review form for the state for Familia's Deli. This is a commitment letter. It's just housekeeping. And this is the next step. And once the state approves it, then we'll bring over the legal docs that will make it a legal binding deal.
I had called him, congratulated him on that last week on this a little bit. And he said he wasn't, I didn't realize we had to do this other part, so if we could read number 3, or I'm sorry, number 4.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and execute the letter of commitment to Familia's Deli and Fresh Food Market LLC for a revolving loan fund loan to purchase machinery and equipment for the facility to be located at 12399 Kinsman Road, Newberry, in the amount of $47,100 for 5 years, 60 months at 3% interest.
Okay, make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Okay, then we've got the financial side.
Financials today, we have supplemental appropriations for the county home fund for the replacement of 3 freezers, the sheriff's 911 fund for additional salary and Medicare appropriations due to retirement payouts, the auditor's real estate assessment fund for replacement printers, and the pretrial release supervision and pre-sentence investigation funds for repayment of 2014 payroll advances. We have a cash transfer out of the general fund for the balance of 2014 funding for the CASA program, the contract for Familia's Deli and Fresh Food Market LLC for a revolving loan fund loan to purchase machinery and equipment in the amount of $47,100 for the Office of Community and Economic Development, travel request for the juvenile court, and a payment to commercial kitchen equipment for the purchase of a reach-in freezer for the Department on Aging in the amount of $3,151.
Okay, I'll make this motion. That motion. Excuse me.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion stands approved.
Thank you.
Hey Heidi, real quick on that, like on this here with the 12,000. 12,000. So did somebody retire?
They had 2 retirements. So at that time, they had to pay out a portion of their sick and their vacation. So it adds to their appropriations.
I see. Okay. All right. So we've got transit department.
Mike could not be here today, so I'm filling in for him. This first one is simply bringing on another part-time driver.
Okay.
So that's what that one is.
All right. If we could read number 6.
The Transit Department is requesting the board approve hiring Michael Hart to the position of
One more.
part-time driver number 2210-1 to be effective December 8th, 2014 at a rate of $12.64 per hour. After the successful completion of a 1,000-hour probationary period, the rate will increase to $13.30 per hour.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweetie?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved.
And then the next one, this is the application for the contract that enables us to get reimbursed for the discounts we provide to elderly and disabled riders on Geauga Transit. The regular one-way rate is $6, and with the elderly transit elderly disability program card, riders are able to ride for $3, half of that. So this contract is to reimburse us for 2013 for the difference between the full fare and reduced fare. So will be reimbursed $62,100.
What's this for 14 through 15?
Yeah, you said 2013.
It is, but it's based on the letter. It's actually based on these funds will offset the fare loss incurred during calendar year 2013 as a result of offering reduced fare to elderly and people with disabilities. So the money is being provided during the current state fiscal year of 14 to 15, but it's based on fare loss
13.
for calendar year 13. Yeah.
Okay.
The Transit Department is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the Ohio Department of Transportation Elderly and Disabled Transit Fare Assistance Program grant contract between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners and the State of Ohio Department of Transportation, contract number EHTA 010015151 for the period July 1st, 2014 through June 30th, 2015 in the amount of $62,100.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
I motion approved. And we've got the course insurance program renewal.
It's Jane Lafferty.
Indeed.
Good
morning.
Morning.
This is Jane Lafferty. She is the representative of Insurance Partners. Normally we have Gary Wirtz, and he wasn't available, and so she's filling in.
Morning, how are you? Welcome.
I'm glad you had good weather driving over from the west side.
Me too. I was worried about that. You notice she's a southern girl. She's only been here for about a year and a half. So
I got here as fast as I could.
Christy has the paperwork. Somebody turned on their alarm by accident.
Hear it? Sounds like it's that away. I'm just kidding.
Somebody hit it. You need to go ahead with the plow.
Could be mine.
It's car goes further down.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Where are you parked?
Right across from here.
On the other side or on this?
Oh. Across the way or on our side?
Are the lights flashing? Usually the lights will flash.
I can't see anything
In front of
flashing.
Three, I think they'll-
It'll stop after a while. First it'll
The
drive.
battery goes dead.
It'll drive all of that over there.
I'm pretty sure when the battery goes dead.
Good catch there, Wade.
I'm sorry for the interruption.
That is not a problem. Every year we update with our insurance agent our stuff, so they know what we have, so that we can have property and liability insurance. And we've been working with the agent for the last couple of months to update our vehicle lists and our everything we have.
Equipment, buildings.
Buildings, yes. And then I guess the next thing will be in the spring, they'll come back with the rates based on the information we're giving them in the packet today.
We'll be back in April. And we just need your signature, your approval to move on with it. Go to Corsa and give them this information, and they'll figure out the quote for us.
All right. If we could read number 8.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the County Forza Insurance Program renewal application for the period May 1st, 2015 through April 30th, 2016, upon the recommendation of the Director of Administrative Services and Jane Lafferty from East Kirk Bloomfield Insurance Partners.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye. Motion stands approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day now.
Oh, that sounds
Okay.
like it's our newspaper girls.
Want to quit?
Now she's running out like crazy.
I brought copies of the policies that I was asking for some changes to and the reasons for why. I have copies for you, Dave, and Christie, if you want them. Basically, I'm trying to get the policy manual to a state where I can then reproduce it for everybody and distribute it and feel comfortable that we're all on the same page, because over time what happens with a policy manual is things get changed. Some people put them in, some people don't, and pretty soon you're not sure you're all on the same page anymore. So that's the state I'm trying to get to. The first thing that I'm asking for, and this is based on consulting with Frank Antonucci, because he's the chairman of our drug testing consortium for our drug testing program, that their substance abuse policy and procedure manual is something that they update on a regular basis. And it had been incorporated into our policy manual as part of it, and his advice was it should not be part of it. It should be a separate standalone document. That way they can change it whenever they need to change it.
It's not something that you guys have to make changes, that the consortium does that.
The court consortium does the changes, and so all I'm asking of
It was yours.
it was you.
It was me.
Asking that we can remove that and then just adjust the page numbers accordingly in the table of contents. That would be the first one. The second one is the one that's headed appeals. This is the end of our disciplinary policy, and all I'm asking is that we remove a line from it, because when this policy was approved, it was required that when you had a discipline, you had to file it with a state agency, and we don't have to do that anymore. And I actually talked to somebody at the state, and we just need to take it out, because we don't do that anymore.
Okay.
The third one has to do with compensation, and this is the one that says overtime compensatory time. And Dave had asked if we could insert some language to deal with how we're going to compensate people when we do the paid days off, because those are not state-approved holidays. And so we had language in the policy for holidays, but not for paid days off. And up until this time, we had been treating them like a paid holiday, which means anybody who works on that time gets paid 2.5 times their pay, because that's how we pay for holidays. And Dave is asking that we change that so that people get essentially comp time.
They get another
They
day
get a
off,
different
because
day
it's not a holiday. A holiday
as
is
a paid day
irreplaceable. Whereas a paid day off, if you guys decide to grant like day after Thanksgiving, that's not a holiday. I feel if somebody's got to work on that day, just give them a different day off rather than paying this overtime, because it's
So,
not a holiday.
do you have an area here that it talks to that, addresses that?
That's the red one, where it
That's
says
what it's,
Paid day off.
paid
it'll
day
be
off.
granted an alternate pay day.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not a holiday. We're just giving them a replacement.
So they get comp time, that is basically it.
So what's your opinion as far as, because I know it's always a question that's come up now for the 2 years that I've been here. What's your feeling like with Christmas, like, for example, the day after Thanksgiving,
Christmas and New Year's,
Christmas and then
New
New Year's, yeah. So what is your feeling? Like last year, I know that wasn't the county auditors open the day after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think Christmas was in the middle of the week last year, so...
Yeah, it would have been Wednesday.
No?
But it was the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, day
It was
after
always the
Thanksgiving,
Friday.
the auditors stayed
Oh,
open.
yeah.
Thanksgiving's always going to be the
Stayed
day after,
open.
right? Yeah.
Because, what do you, so what do we do as far as, I know that it's always a kind of a question, but, as far as how do we justify, that cost as far as, a whole county shutting down? And I agree with Blake, it's people are probably not going to be that productive that day, probably, But at the same time, we still have to justify the expense, and that's so how do we do that? It's what is the proper way to be able to?
Well, first of all, for the people that are salaried, they have a fixed amount of work to get done.
Right.
So they're going to get it done. They're just going to have to, if you give them a day off, they're going to still get the work done. They'll just have to get it done in their normal time. So there's not really a real cost for them. The hourly people, there is a bit of a cost because you're paying them and they're not here. And that's kind of a judgment call where the commissioners have to decide whether they feel that's a reasonable thing. I think past practice and just general reaction, and a lot of the other elected officials are going to do it anyway because you don't control other hiring authorities. So it seems the consensus amongst the elected officials has been to grant that day off. What this is designed to do is to not treat it like a holiday where we're giving people who have to work the same kind of overtime they get if you make them work on a Christmas or a Thanksgiving. Because in my mind, those days are not replaceable. Those are real holidays. This is, to me, is replaceable. If they got to work on the day after Christmas, day after Thanksgiving, you give them an alternate day off. They're getting what everyone else gets.
I see what you're saying.
So I think we're saving a little money, and I think we're being reasonable doing
Yeah.
it. I think the average employee is just grateful that you're granting them that extra day off, and the ones that have to work, I think, would be understanding that they're going to get a day off as well. It may just not be that day because we have certain things we have to keep open and running on those days.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Ralph. I mean, it would be nice if there was some kind of a guideline. It's not a requirement. It'd be nice if there was some kind of a guideline when you have I would say, a Thursday holiday or a Tuesday holiday.
For the Monday.
Because of if Christmas was on Tuesday, I don't know that giving them Wednesday off would be that much, but giving them Monday off because they're going to come in, they're going to not really be that productive for that 8-hour period of time because their mind is on the next day and getting ready for Christmas Eve or so on. So I'm not proposing anything. I'm just saying that when Christmas is on a Wednesday, well, you got 2 days before or 2 days after. But if it's obviously if it's on Monday or Friday, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
But Tuesday and Thursday provide a day there that's you wear two hats. As an employer, you say,
right.
We got to get them to work. But as a employee or the person, you or me or the next guy going, I don't want to go in there. I got other things I got to get done.
Because I think as far as like a planning tool is some to establish. Like I know what was 2 years. Tracy's been gone a year.
Just a year.
But like there was one of the votes. Mary actually, I think she had voted no, and then Tracy and I had voted yes on it for that day.
Right.
But all of a sudden, it's almost like for a planning tool for the employees to kind of say, it's kind of up in the air whether they can make plans if they want to leave somewhere to go on Thanksgiving to say they're going to be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If we kind of established to say this would be our policy, and people could kind of pre-plan.
You could do that at reorg time. When you establish the meeting calendar, you could establish the days they're going to be paid day off.
When I worked for Martin Marietta, we used to, like the day before Christmas or the day New Year's Day, we used to work like a half a day, like the day before Christmas. And we'd be off like around 12 or 1. That's what I remember in the past. They never gave you that whole day off.
Before.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I think the day after
their work week was 37 hours a week, too.
But like what Blake was saying, I
37.5.
mean, that day is going to be pretty much unproductive.
Yeah.
As
It
far
will
as
be.
even if you did a
There's
half
no
day
doubt
or
about
something,
that.
people are going to come in, they're going to,
Well,
talk.
I think you'll find a lot of people will use vacation time. If you choose not to grant
Well,
paid
they'll
days
take their
off, people
vacation.
will
Right.
use their vacation
Right.
to get that time. I will tell you as a worker and your employee, if you tell me to work, I will be here and I will work and I will be productive.
Right.
I'm not going to goof off ever. However, I would caution you to think carefully about whether to enshrine something in policy because then you have to do
You're
it.
stuck.
If you don't say one way or the other, then you can choose from one time to the next. However,
Yeah.
Dave's solution of putting it in at the start of the
Start of
year
the year,
will-
then they could
then it will
plan
meet people's planning
ahead of time.
things.
Yeah.
If they want to go away for the holidays, they could.
Well, it's going to vary year to year on when the
Although
holiday,
they would
when a lot of the holidays fall, whether or
Right.
not this is going to be applicable that year or not.
though Thanksgiving is always on
Thanksgiving
Thursday.
is the one.
Bill always used
Let
to
me
feel that they
clarify.
could take their vacation days. I know Bill was real adamant about that.
And we can.
Well,
And you can, but, you know.
I mean, again, like I said before, I think you also kind of get a sense of what the other elected officials are doing. I guess I feel like, I like to see solidarity amongst the county employees. And if it appears a preponderance of elected officials are going to grant the day after Thanksgiving
Then,
off,
so be it.
I think
Especially Thanksgiving, I think. The day after Thanksgiving is generally, because it's always Friday.
I'd like to clarify something. It's not that our employees would be not productive.
It would be that.
It would be that they're not always getting, we get calls to react or act on things that other offices bring
Right.
to us. And so if the other offices are off,
True.
then there's nobody to bring us
That's true.
this thing. I'm not,
You're
I
right.
no way, shape, or form want to imply that if they show up the day after Thanksgiving
Right.
or the day before,
I'll have a
before
turkey
Christmas,
leg in my
that they're
hand,
that they're
ready to
coming
go.
in going, well, I'm not doing anything today. No, they'll do what is required. But in my private sector experience, especially in sales offices, we had virtually no one call asking for
No.
prices the day before or the
Right.
day after
You're
a
right.
holiday.
That's true. That's absolutely
Now, I
That's why
know
large
retail sales on
companies
this
would
construction.
Right.
do their
nobody was busy
vacations
then.
like in July, and they'd have the whole half of July
Everyone.
off, and everyone, they'd shut down the plants. And that way, when everybody came back at the same time with the same
Yeah.
issues and problems.
You're speaking of your husband?
Cat, yeah.
Yeah, I worked
Cat,
there
you
for
worked there
I
too.
worked there for 10 years, and they
Cat would
had
shut down.
plants shut down.
I mean, they shut
2 weeks in the summer
and 2 weeks at Christmas.
1 week at Christmas.
Was it one? I thought it was
1
2
week.
weeks.
Right. My husband spent his career at the
Well, your
corporation, and they
husband
always
had
said
more
the week of
seniority.
Christmas off.
He may have got more time.
Yeah. And then they had other.
But
so,
then that was just everybody.
but that made sense for manufacturing, I think.
Well, they took
Before
that.
we finish the discussion of this one, it is important to make note that we do have a bargaining unit that this affects, and there is some question about past practice and whether that's going to be an issue or not, which is why your motion specifically says that for the remainder of this year, they won't be exempt from this. But then next year we will have to engage if you choose to make this change.
So we'll put them on notice that because it's not in their contract, that they will follow whatever commissioners decide for the rest of the employees you're hiring.
The contract is silent on paid days off. It lists the normal state-approved holidays and how we handle those, but it really doesn't address the issue of paid time off.
This is
So,
across the parking lot.
yes. We've already had conversation with their labor attorney, and he's given some suggestions about how to handle that and whether or not it'll result in a grievance or what have you. We don't really know yet.
So to give them fair notice, we figure, okay, for the remainder of this year, they will follow the established practice on the overtime and whatnot on the paid day off. But going into next year, they will be formally notified that they will be following what the rest of your hiring authority follows. So there won't be that.
It is my opinion that this change is a little more defensible for an elected official than 2.5 times pay for a paid day off. It's just a comp time, you get a different paid day off. Just because 2.5 times pay is a lot of money. So,
And it's not a holiday, so
and it isn't a holiday.
it's something you grant through your generosity, and we don't need to be
And
paying
generous.
extra
And we are
money.
very grateful, by the way. Appreciate it very much. The next one is just a little quick, almost a housekeeping kind of one. This policy was referring to the Loss Prevention Safety Committee that we have, and it had contradiction in there. It talked about a monthly meeting, and it also talked about a quarterly meeting. So I just am asking to remove the reference to a monthly meeting because it's my intention to do them quarterly unless you want me to do something different.
Oh, yeah. I see. You just crossed out the monthly stuff.
Right.
Four meetings a year is plenty for that, I think.
If it isn't, I will let you know. But we'll see. We did have to do a little bit of a tweaking on the rehired retirements policy that you passed recently because it turned out rehirement's not a word. So we switched it to rehired
I
retirements.
mean, we're changing the English language to
No, we're
accommodate
no,
our-
we're
You search on
method.
rehirement,
Yes.
and it doesn't come up.
And then I just had to adjust the page number
Yeah.
for that. The last thing I'm asking for, and this may be for the future as well, as it is my intention, unless you direct me otherwise, to try to put together a committee next year to do a full redo of our policy manual, because it's pretty old. It's from 2002, and a lot has changed. So we have some guides we can go by from CCAO, and I'm going to be doing some comparing. Because theirs is like this and ours is like this.
And part of that is that we have a lot of procedures.
As part of the policy manual.
I mean, unless you folks disagree, to me, you set the policy. The procedures to carry out that policy may need to be tweaked now and then, but you don't necessarily have to see if we're going to use this form instead of that form. We're going to make some, minor change in the procedure. That will allow the policy manual to be more efficient.
Is this to be all done in-house, or I know you say something from someone, advisor from CCAO. Is there a firm that comes in and does this for a fee?
It was not my intention to do it like that.
Okay.
We could, but I think
that's a question. It's not an opinion.
Yeah.
I would never plan to do something that cost you guys money without asking. So, the last thing is, as you may be aware, Kathy and Colleen worked pretty extensively through this year to redo the forms that we use for the reporting for Bureau of Workers' Comp injuries to make it simpler. And we also worked with our third-party administrator, Comp Management, and it's, I think, a very elegant solution. They came up with 2 small packets. Here's the supervisors, here's the injured persons, this is what you take to the doctor, this is everything, it's all in there. Do this, do this, do this, do this, here are your forms. But one of the things, the feedbacks that we have been getting from supervisors and department heads is that the current form that we use for incidents is 4 pages long, and it's cumbersome. And so they worked to skinny it down to 1 page, depending on what you're doing. However, our policy manual is part of our policy manual, the current incident report. So what I'm asking is, can we remove it, and then we can alter it as we go without always having to ask you guys to change it. We just want to take it out and then use the new ones and change them. Kathy just altered them again last week to make them look better and easier to read. So my request is, the last request of the policy changes is, can we remove the accident report form from the policy manual? We will obviously give out the new ones to everybody, but then we just feel it ought not to be part of the policy manual unless you want it in there.
That's on here? That's not.
It's listed under
the
section
last
8.
one.
Which one?
It's under section 8, loss prevention.
It's under removal of incident reporting.
Yes.
Oh, okay, over on
Yes.
the. All right.
You just kind of skip to the.
And these are all just very simple, almost housekeeping type things for the first pass. And once you guys have either approved or not approved, then I'm going to put together, and I'm going to start putting on 2 pages, 2 sides of the page.
Well, and have it available
Instead of 1.
electronically, so people can say, hey, do I have the latest hard copy? If they want
Yes.
a hard copy, it'll be online.
Yes. And we'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on
Because
that.
it isn't there right now.
I know, it needs to be online.
Maybe we can put it under the HR forms that are on the Commissioner's webpage.
Yeah.
That might work. But I have to get it in that form first. So these are the changes I'm requesting for now.
Okay.
And then, we'll see about what you guys want me to do next year.
Okay.
I think that sounds more than good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So then if we could do a read then on number 9.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and adopt the revisions to the following sections of the Geauga County Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual to be effective November 18, 2014. Table of contents adjusting for removal of the Drug Testing Consortium Substance Abuse Policy and Procedure from the County Policy Manual. Section 3, Conduct, Employee Conduct and Discipline regarding the filing of the Order of Removal paperwork with the State. Section 4, Compensation, Overtime, Compensatory Time, adding policy regarding paid days off. Members of the Water Resources Department bargaining unit will be exempt from this policy change for the remainder of 2014. Section 8, Loss Prevention, adjustment of language and removal of incident report form. Section 9, Programs, Rehired, Retirement, correcting title and page numbers.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good work.
Okay. Now for
The bond. Just read that one.
So we could do a read on number 10.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve a public officials bond continuation certificate for Timothy J. Grindell, Geauga County Juvenile Probate Judge, in the amount of $5,000 pursuant to ORC 2151.02 and 2101.03.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then we've got, okay, then the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board appoint Shane Hajar as an alternate for Mary Samiti for the Ohio Public Works Commission, District 7 County Representative, to fill the remainder of the term as alternate vacated by Michael Stone ending July 20, 2015.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then for number 12, the Commissioner's Office requesting the Board concur with Bainbridge Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on the liquor license requested by New Wembley LLC, doing business as the Wembley Club, located at 8345 Woodbury Boulevard, Chagrin Falls, CTRFO 6368882.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then we've got, for Eagle Scouts, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute resolution number 14-171, honoring Matthew James Folkman for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion stands approved. Congratulations. Okay. And number 14, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board cancel session for Tuesday, December 9th, 2014, with the CCAO Winter Conference in Columbus that day.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then we'll read 15 and 16 as Commissioner's Office is requesting Board cancel sessions for Thursday, December 25th, 2014 for the Christmas Day holiday, and also Thursday, January 1st, 2015 due to the New Year's Day holiday.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, both approved. And then for meetings, we have Public Works Commission District 7 meeting, small government 9:30 a.m., Executive Committee at 10, and the Integrating Committee at 10:30. And then on the 25th, we'll hold a regular session, and that's on Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday.
Yes, this Thursday.
Alrighty. And then counties will be closed for general business in observance of Thanksgiving Day. 24-hour operation will continue to operate. And regular scheduled commissioners meeting is canceled. And then county offices under the hiring authority of the Board of Commissioners will be closed for general business. 24 operations will still continue to operate on that day.
On number, or on the OPWC,
Yes,
that's held at the county garage.
the highway garage. Yes. And then I also have, I'm not sure if all of you will be attending the Community Corrections Planning Board meeting Thursday the 20th at noon in the
Yeah.
hospital office. All
I'll be
three of
there.
you will be there? Okay. And then,
Thursday the 20th, what is that?
That's the thing that, yeah,
the Community Corrections
Yeah.
Planning Board.
you got this.
I have the Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste is trying to schedule a meeting. We originally had it scheduled for the 20th, but because of the
So this
board
is going to be
meeting,
the 20th, not the 18th.
we have to switch it to either this Friday or Monday, the 24th. But I'm looking at a time to see which
Can they
of those
come in
days.
early on the 20th?
Yeah.
We have to
No,
go
you have to
there.
go there. You have to go to Trumbull County.
Oh, because I thought they were.
Oh,
coming
this
here
is the
that day.
corrections.
That's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's the solid waste thing.
Yeah, I
The
got it.
corrections thing is coming here, right?
Yes.
Oh, they're coming here?
The juvenile,
The Portage Geauga Juvenile Detention Center meeting that they want to schedule for December 3rd at 11:30 is here because there's a NACOG meeting that morning in Building 8. So because they're coming here, they wanted to know if they could just do the meeting here at 11:30
that's on Monday.
when they got done. It's a,
But this Friday, we have to,
Well, December 3rd is Wednesday.
yes. There's two different meetings.
This
Yeah,
Friday we
Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste is trying to schedule a meeting either this Friday or Monday the 24th.
Okay, this Friday would be the 21st. That's not good for me. I'll be in Columbus.
So, or Monday the 24th.
I wish we could split those meetings and have half of them here and half of them there.
Well, see, this is their Christmas meeting. I can't make either one. I will be gone that whole weekend.
You need to say anything at all to me about this being their Christmas thing. This is just.
They usually have that at Christmas. What's happening there? Talk to Bob Villers about it. I hear what you're saying, but they do that, Ralph.
Right, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
I can't do any of that. The 21st to the 24th, I'll be gone, and I won't be back till Tuesday.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need to do. I wish we could split that meeting, half here and half there.
Yeah.
Well, we used to, didn't we? Well, Bob Villers used to come up here many years
Well, he's
ago.
here every other week anyways
Yeah.
to pick up payroll.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, usually the meetings are down at his place.
But
though.
you know what,
We'll
Ralph?
be in charge for
Even
that
when we
mileage.
used to have those meetings, those guys, get them to show up. Bill and I used to wait an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. It was really crazy. Now, you
For
know,
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Paul Hutzel died, you know, and did they get someone else to take his place?
Who died?
Paul. What, you remember Paul Hutzel? He was the guy, the tall one with the light hair.
Oh, really? He died?
He died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, those are all commissioners, right?
Paul, you know, Frankie Feud, the little short one, he's still alive, and then Danny Polivda, he's the little heavier guy. They're fine, but Paul died. He had, it was just terrible. He had a heart attack or something. Oh, it was terrible.
I didn't know that he passed away.
Yeah, he passed away.
Would you like me to message
Ask
and ask them if they can come here in December sometime?
Yeah, or if they wanted to do it before our meeting Thursday. We'll do the half
Oh,
hour. is all we
you'll
really
never,
need.
you'll never get them up here. You'll never.
Or-
I know what you mean.
I mean,
Ask them about the Christmas meeting. Why can't we do it at the Christmas luncheon meeting they always have? We always did it before.
I will.
Maybe it has something to do with. I know Paul passed away. I don't know if they ever replaced him yet or something. I don't know
I
what's
think
going on.
Frank Ralph has a better idea.
Well,
If they could come here,
good luck. They can't even come there.
if they could be
5 minutes
here
away.
at 9 o'clock
9
next
o'clock
on the
25th.
Yeah.
25th of
Well,
Tuesday, we're going to be
you're
here at
half the
10
board.
anyway.
You ought to have the right to
Yeah.
ask that they
Okay.
do that.
Well,
I will
usually
ask
their
on
meeting
that.
is at 1:30. Remember, keep in mind, when we do go there, it's always in the afternoon. It's never in the morning at 9
Right.
o'clock. To get them here, this has been our contention that we could hardly ever get them. We get Frankie or we get one of the other ones.
Sometimes, couldn't we do like a the online meeting?
No, can't do that.
No, they don't allow that yet.
They
They
don't.
should, but
No.
they don't.
No, they don't allow
The law
that.
does not allow
It's
that.
just it's
Very
would be simple.
You can try, but I'm just saying, just our experience in the past, it's always been a contention with us. We're there, they're not. They're
Yeah.
10 minutes away.
Yeah, they're late. The
Takes
times
us an
I've
hour
gone
to get
down there,
there.
they're always late.
And we're sitting there waiting and waiting. Well, then Paul started he can't come in there on time. But he's gone.
Should be something to talk to
Frankie,
CCAO about
Geauga.
when we're down there. Is the idea of putting some legislation through that will allow for video conferencing.
Yeah, it would make so much sense. It's
Well,
just,
Yeah.
Well, it would require the state
Yeah.
legislature to make that change.
Yeah.
Plus, the other thing is it allows, if people wanted to ask questions about that or
And they
just
could
to
be
see the
wherever they
process,
are.
they could be here and not have to drive to
Right.
Trumbull County.
Right.
Yeah.
That, and we all have to drive down individually.
Yeah.
So,
Then it's
well, it's
we
not
all-
a
right.
terrible amount of money, but everybody
Yeah.
gets to charge mileage to drive from here to there to take one boat to come back,
Now,
or
would we
vice
have to
versa.
drive down there separately?
Well, we can go together. We just can't talk.
Yeah, you just can't talk. It creates the appearance of a possible
We just can't talk.
sunshine law
Put the
violation.
dog between us.
We can talk about the weather.
Yeah,
but
talk about-
we
yeah.
can talk about the county.
We have to drive like the
Get in the car with tape on her.
Hear no evil, see no evil,
Hear each
speak no
other.
evil.
The cone of silence, like it's smart used to.
Okay, I will email Bob back and see if the 25th they could come here at 9 o'clock before our meeting on Tuesday. Otherwise, then ask about the Christmas luncheon and why they couldn't just do it all at once.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, okay.
And then on the 3rd at 11:30 is the Joint Detention Center Board, and Portage County is coming here for the NACOG in the morning, so they would be here, and so they wanted to do
What
it here
time?
at 11:30.
That's December 3rd.
Yes, it's a Wednesday. I know you had told me that was okay with you.
Yep.
And then my only other question is I know Blake will not be able to be at the meeting on December 11th. I need to know if Mary or Ralph has an issue with a meeting on the 11th about being here, because we're looking at doing a permanent appropriation and we need to schedule a public hearing for community development. But if either of you are not going to be able to be here, then we have to.
Wait, let me just get the 3rd in here. That is for the.
Oh yeah,
The 3rd is the Portage.
Because they have winter conference, so there's no meeting
Portage
here.
Detention.
Right.
So
Right?
Yep.
And that's at 11:30.
Yep, that'll be great.
I mean, just give me a minute
Unless
here.
the Lord has other plans for me.
And I
You
don't
never know,
imagine.
Ralph.
I don't imagine it's going
Nope.
to
We
really
need to get
bother
that- We need to get that permanent appropriation adopted so people can get.
Oh, December 11th is a Thursday.
Yes. Are you
We
there?
can't do it on the Tuesday night? Oh, we're not going to have the meeting.
No, because you're still
You'll be
you're
right.
coming back from Columbus.
Yeah, let me take that one out. Okay, yeah, I can do that one.
okay, then I
So
will
that one-
go ahead and
So-
plan for the 11th then.
Okay, so 11th, we'll have a meeting at 10, is that it?
Yes.
Instead of the other one. Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, there we go.
So if we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved,
Move to
Ralph.
adjourn.
Thank you.
Okay, what about